Me existing will always upset people on some level because we're told as a society being fat is one of the worst things that you can be.
It is not your existence. It is your message that being fat is okay, because being fat is one of the most unhealthy things you actually can be.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
My name is Alan Roberts. This is Everyday Fitness. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell right over here, and share my videos. Subscribe to my second channel, Alan Roberts, my opinion, of course, link above and below at the end, and all those places. Thank you very much. Share that stuff. Some new content, some new comedy content, hopefully this weekend. Anyway, that was Tess Holliday speaking. She was interviewed by Amanda Knox for the, I guess, YouTube channel, because I got this video off YouTube broadly. So I'm about to actually, talk about the talking points of a video interview done by Amanda Knox. And that's truly something I never thought I'd say on Every Damn Day Fitness, just to be real. But Tess does go on. It is one of those fluff pieces that they keep doing for this woman, where people pick on her because she's fat or obese or like that, and people are critical of her because of her size. I want everybody to understand, I'm not critical of her about her size. I feel for her size. I wish she would lose some of that size so she could live a longer, happier, healthier life, because nothing can tell me. In this video, she claims to be healthy. It's perceived health. We'll get into that. But when you're that size, you are either unhealthy already, or you are going to be somewhere in the future. That is just statistics, fact, like real world stuff that we're going to choose to actually discuss, and not pretend that like you can be 300 plus pounds at 5'3" and have it not affect your long-term health. We're gonna actually use common sense and facts and shit, like I always do, and we're gonna ignore the just because I'm 400 pounds, you can't tell if I'm healthy or not. I would have a hard time believing that this woman has high energy levels. I would imagine she spends a lot of time sitting, laying down, just to be real. And I don't know that for sure. I have, some insight, but I don't think she has much energy. I would have a hard time believing she does.
Tess Holliday is no stranger to being body shamed. Since the beginning of her career as a plus-size model, she's had to fend off degrading comments about her weight, her health, and her validity as a woman.
Just to be clear, that happens to about every person in the public eye. Every person in the public eye, whenever you get famous, you normally have to answer for what your weight is. People question your health, or they talk about your health, especially women. They absolutely do. That happens to every woman. So the fame that this woman obviously sought out, because I believe she's a narcissist, is the thing that causes that to happen. It might be exacerbated by her weight, but it happens to everybody that's in the public eye. Everybody.
Despite her success, Tess has received a lot of heat throughout her career. I want to talk to her about her process of managing that scrutiny and using it to help other people like her.
She does not help other people like her. Frankly, she takes advantage of other people like her, in my opinion, of course. I'm not a psychiatrist at all. I'm not. Nor do I claim to be, but I have been doing a lot of research into something called the dark triad, because I believe that a lot of people in the fitness industry have it. And the dark triad is a mix of psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, and she falls right in there. I find this interview hilarious, by the way, because in reality, the person that writes her Instagram comments and the person that's being interviewed seem to be two very different people. They just seem to be two very, very, very different people. The way she interacts with people in her comment section about how cocky she is, arrogant she is, when met with any type of scrutiny, she is vicious and encourages people to do everything, including body shame the person that is a detractor of hers. Like, if she really cared about body shaming or like that, she would not allow that to happen to anybody, but she oftentimes looks like she encourages it. I've even seen her refer to a person's race in her comment section. Now, she was calling the person a white boy, but still, whenever anybody denotes race, that means that's on your, that is a physical appearance thing that to me is kind of, out of character for somebody that's so positive and helps so many people.
At the time,
What were your coping mechanisms?
Food.
Food.
I was going through how I arrived to start emotionally eating. And I still struggle with emotional eating.
Now, just so everybody's aware, that's where I took out a huge portion where they're talking about the trauma that she went through, because very frankly, you can watch Amanda Knox's interview of her. Again, something I never thought I'd say on Everyday Fitness. But again, I don't want to give any fuel to somebody using that against her. That's just me, okay? However, I am very proud of Tess for admitting that she is an emotional eater, that you now actually are admitting that you actually have an eating disorder. That might make, when you sit and joke about eating a whole cake worse, in my mind. That is not a joke then. If you are an emotional eater, whether it be great emotions or stress emotions, it is not a great thing to joke about eating an entire cake. This is why I don't buy into the myth of Tess Holliday. I just don't. I don't buy into it. I think she does everything for a purpose. I think she is extremely manipulative to her audience. As a perfect example, she's been working out lately with Mazzy, whatever her name is, Mazzy Arias, I believe. I read an article about that because that was actually the video I was going to make today about Tess. Was the video about her working out with Mazzy Arias. But this video got sent to me early this morning, so I thought I'd do a video on this. However, she drives 2 hours each way to then do what most would consider an extremely basic workout with Mazzy Arias. First of all, Mazzy, if you are watching, why are you letting one of your clients sit for 4 hours to then just get a half-hour activity? You could literally do that virtually, have her walk for 3 hours, and you're ahead of the game. And guess what? It would be less stress on her, because having somebody sit for 4 hours, that is like negligent as a trainer, if you ask me. Like I personally would be like, that is too far for you to drive. That's 4 hours of just sitting. I'd rather you walk for 3.5 of those hours and not see me at all. That's truly, I'll be in you coach her in her ear, tell her to keep going, something like that. But that's some bullshit, just so you know. That kind of invalidates like your training methods in my mind too. Now, everybody's gonna be like, well, she's so popular. Being popular does not mean you're good at your job. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. And I do believe that on both of their parts, this is just publicity. One has 1.8 million followers on Instagram. The other one has 2 million something followers on Instagram. And they drive, and one of them drives 2 hours each way to work out for a half hour, hour, whatever it is, so they can get the candid shots. That, in my opinion, is what's happening, because that, I believe, is what Tess Holliday is about, appearances.
And it wasn't until modeling that I found like a group of body positive bloggers and activists that were saying the terms, I love my body and I love myself.
You should love yourself enough to be the healthiest version of you and want to live as long as you possibly can. That is not the issue. The issue is truly taking care of yourself. That's the issue. The issue is loving yourself enough to be healthy. I could not give a shit what somebody looks like. I don't. I just want people to be healthy. And I don't want people like Tess Holliday and other people from the fat acceptance movement convincing people that they are healthy when they are not. The healthy at every size movement, all that. I don't want people convincing that they are healthy when they are not, or not going to be. You can be metabolically healthy and feel okay. I guarantee you, by the way, if you're a 300-pound person, you lost 100 pounds, you would be like, holy shit, I didn't realize how bad I felt until I lost the weight. I guarantee you, if you are a morbidly obese person and you think you feel great, lose enough weight to get to a healthy weight, and you will be like, holy shit, I actually did feel horrible every day. You would.
And then a light bulb went off in my head and I thought, wait, I can actually love the way that I look now, like that's allowed. And once that happened, I was unstoppable.
Let's talk about unstoppability after you spend another couple years being morbidly obese.
When she launched #YourBeautyStandards, a viral campaign for body positivity, she was pushed into the spotlight and her popularity skyrocketed.
F Your Beauty Standards, which I prefer to call F Your Behavior Standards, because Tess, you see, started this organization to get people to rally around her and all of that, which really what it was, in my opinion, of course. And she sold t-shirts for $40. And the reason why it was so expensive is because money was going to go to a domestic violence organization with every purchase, right? Never happened, apparently. No money ever went to a domestic violence organization. How low empathy do you have to have How low of empathy do you actually have to have in order to stiff a domestic violence organization? Again, remember the dark triad thing I was talking about? Psychopathy, low empathy, narcissism, blocks people that, it blocks any critics or lashes back out at any critics. And Machiavellianism is like this kind of like planned out, will lie, will do anything type thing. Just saying, it just seems to fit really, really well. But, and I would actually be, I personally am, like I said, not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but I would be shocked if she hasn't been diagnosed that in the past, right, Tess? Another hilarious thing is, she supposedly cares for people so much. There's hundreds of people that have never gotten their t-shirts still from her. They've purchased stuff from her and never gotten their merchandise. How caring is that about her fans and everything like that? That's ridiculous. Like the arrogance and complete unfeeling towards other people that this woman exhibits is horrific. This interview is hilarious to me because she's playing a character. She's acting. Like this is an act.
I can never celebrate a success in my career without it being picked apart about my size or my health. But it's imagined health. It's not an actual health. Like
let's be very, very, very straight. You would not have a career if it was not for your size. Let's just put that out there. Nobody would know your name. If you didn't have great genetics for not holding a lot of weight in your face, like most other women your size, nobody'd know your name. That's just the truth. Nobody would know who you are. Nobody would know who you are. It's an unfortunate thing. It really, really is. But you would not have a career if it wasn't for your size. To not want to take any possible negatives that come along with it, that's not how being in front of a camera works. Anybody who's been in front of a camera knows that, including you.
People don't actually care if I'm healthy or whatever. It's just them projecting and using it as a blanket to be an ass.
That statement that Tess Holliday just made is absolutely 100% correct about me. I don't care if she's healthy or not. I don't. I absolutely do not. I have seen how she interacts with people. I have seen how she basically, tricks her fans. I have seen how she has promised to give money to a domestic violence organization and not given it. I have seen how she misleads people into believing that not everything she does is a photo op. It's just her living her life. And I believe personally that Tess Holliday is a very calculating, very manipulative, and very narcissistic person. She has said that other positive things are toxic. Like she recently talked about Obese to Beast when he showed a transformation picture and talked about how it was toxic. Just because this guy went from morbidly obese to extremely healthy and encourages others to do so also, he's somehow toxic. Please. So you're 100% right. I don't really care about your health. I do care that you keep perpetrating this message to people that they can be healthy at every size and there's nothing wrong with being obese. You can love yourself. You can be pretty. You can be happy. And you should be treated with respect. And somebody should sit you down and love you enough to say, don't you love yourself enough to want to be healthy? Somebody should sit every obese person down and say, love yourself enough to be around. If you love an obese person, sit them down and say, I love you. Let's get healthy so we can spend as much time together as possible. And that's just my 2 cents on the matter. My name is Alan Roberts. Hit me up on Instagram at Everydamnday Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Everyday Fit. I'm also on Facebook at Everydamday Fitness. And I'm on the internet at everydamdayfitness.net. God damn.